Bitcoin is in the midst of a vicious market cycle, but the question begins to be asked now, are we in what appears to be a disbelief rally signaling the end of the bear market and the beginning of the bull cycle, or is this just in fact a premature bull trap, a fake out that is going to lead us deeper into the bear market? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin and the market cycle as a whole. Where we stand at right now, my friends, is the crossroads. Every market cycle comes up on this crossroads, and it is in fact one of the most important times in the trend as a whole. Are we ready to flip the switch, flip the script, and turn this bear market into a bull market? Or are we in fact going to get faked out and continue our plunge deep down into the crypto abyss? Ladies and gentlemen, as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up, all right? So we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice, this is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and observations on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. Being said, let's begin here on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin. Let's just visualize what we've seen here. Obviously, ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin has a long history of market cycles. Bubble, pop, bubble, pop, bubble, pop. Not only Bitcoin, but many assets follow this type of trajectory from its inception all the way through its maturation stage. If we go over here to the Wall Street cheat sheet of a market cycle, we can clearly see, ladies and gentlemen, that for me, Bitcoin is somewhere along the bottom level here. We've obviously potentially seen our largest capitulation being from 6,000 all the way down to 3,000. The question begins now, are we in the anger phase and looking to slowly grind lower after a fake out bull trap? Or have we already seen the worst of the worst, and is this the beginning of a disbelief rally that will end the bearish trend and begin the bullish upcycle? Let's discuss here. So for me, ladies and gentlemen, I am totally categorizing this drop here at 6,000 as a capitulation. A 50% drop in a very short amount of time is certainly a capitulation-esque drop to me. Does it have to be that was the ultimate capitulation? Absolutely not. We could be due for another one if this low gets taken out here, right? That could spark just a complete depression phase that could bring us down to test levels of, down in the $1,000 territory. I'm not going to say I believe that is likely at this time, but I'm going to say it's a possibility. I don't want to make any drastic predictions at this moment, as I believe it's unnecessary for what we're talking about right now. But for me, I see that this definitely has the potential here to have been the massive capitulation that one would expect to see at the end of a bear market. So where would that put us if that was in fact the capitulation? All right, that would stick us down in the anger phase right there along the bottom. And the thing is that you can see clearly that even in this anger phase, there are still going to be V-shaped recoveries, relief rallies, reaction rallies amidst the savage bear market. Those are the kind ways to phrase it, ladies and gentlemen. The not so kind way to phrase it is a bull trap, a fake out, and a plunge deep down into the crypto abyss where average Joe and James at the water cooler wind up sipping that H2O out of a cone-shaped cup, crying into a bucket full of Moonboy tears, and wind up seeing that rejection and a plunge back down to the levels from where it once came. So now we get into the meat and potatoes, ladies and gentlemen. Is where we're at right now the true uptrend? Or is this just one of these fake outs? Now, I want to discuss this in a matter that shows the structure as a whole, okay? To me, right now, what I'm seeing here is that this area at 6,000 is likely going to be the largest resistance in Bitcoin history, in my opinion. Bitcoin has never traded sideways with so much behind it, so much volume and capital being traded, right? Even though our volume profile declined here, the sheer amount of capital in fiat terms has never been exchanged at a level like this for so long, meaning to me that it should theoretically become the largest resistance level in Bitcoin history. The only other comparable thing I see here would have been this level if it was broken, right? And it did not break, but let's say it was broken, right? It would have been something like this whole area would have been so difficult to get past because of that sideways consolidation, right? So that's just an example there. Right here, right now, until this is broken, I believe it's very difficult for many people to actually get bullish. I mean, we aren't very far away. If we use our percent range here, we could see we are only about 15% away from the bottom of this structure, and more so if you want to call it a real breakout, probably somewhere, you know, between 30 and 40% to the upside, which for Bitcoin relative to its historic movements really isn't, you know, all that crazy to imagine, right? So for me right now, I think we are still in fair game for this to be a fake out, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason for this, if we go into the daily here, right, we have been just getting clearly rejected at this level right now. And this level is the prior consolidation point before we truly capitulated. This was the last stop, right? This was the train stopped at the station one last time. Said, Poop Coin Patrick, Moonboy Montgomery, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that maybe you do have more than a peanut for a brain, my friend, and maybe you want to get off this train before it crashes deep down into the crypto abyss. But many did not get off that train, ladies and gentlemen. Many did not want to short the market, even though Don Carbonaccio was sitting here posting analysis day in and day out that I had seen the result and the confirmation of a bearish breakdown out of a descending triangle with lower high after lower high after lower high for months on end. I know I shorted that market, ladies and gentlemen. That train stopped at that station, and Don Carbonaccio took a one-way ticket down into the crypto abyss with it for potentially and actually realistically life-changing trading opportunity all this way down. Shout out to my VIPs. I know you guys remember I was shorting Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, etc., etc. The gains on this drop were impeccable. Just a little history lesson there. Shout out to my VIPs. I'll keep you guys updated with every single trade I make moving forward from here. But where we stand right now is a point where I believe we're either going to get rejected right now at the current level that we're at about 5,300 to 5,700, or we're going to get all the way up to the 6K region and potentially get rejected, and then we could stick the bottom in, right? That is situation number one. That is assuming that we are at the anger phase here, okay? For me, it would be that we're either going to get rejected where we are at now, retest the lows, grind a little bit lower, and for me, if that is the case, it would not surprise me at all, ladies and gentlemen, for Bitcoin to wind up sticking in an actual bottom anywhere in this vicinity. I know it's a large large area. I'm going to turn it green for now. This is my scenario number 1, that anywhere, truthfully, between 1900 and 2900, we could find a bottoming out in here at some point in the future. And I don't think that this would be quick, ladies and gentlemen. I really want to reiterate this. These moon boys, I can't even blame them. The thing is that many of them, they didn't even know what a market cycle was when they first bought Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. They had no idea that markets even moved in cycles. They just thought that you buy this thing, it goes to the moon, and you're driving a sports car around, eating caviar. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that they got hit with a dose of reality. Their dream quickly turned into a nightmare. And for many, they're expecting that just as quickly as as we capitulate, they think we're going right back up to the moon. I remember it here, ladies and gentlemen, all along this way here. Oh, Kirby, well, good thing we capitulated, because now we're going to the moon. Right? They think that they think it's like a slot machine, ladies and gentlemen. You pull the lever, ding, 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 and then all of a sudden, you just either hit the jackpot or you lose everything. They think the market just goes down or up like this. They don't understand that these things take a long, long time to play out. And for me, ladies and gentlemen, if we get rejected at either of these two levels, kind of capitulate again, not really, but just to drop back down to the yearly lows, I think we could have our one last leg that would stick us down somewhere in this region to wind up consolidating before our next true rally. And as you guys can see here, if we just go back in history and we use our date tool here, let's just see from the bottom here in 2015 to where we decided to break out. It was 226 days, ladies and gentlemen, after the bear market began, right? After the bear market had already been raging on for over a year and a half already. This was an additional nearly a year after that, right? Close to a year in the consolidation range, okay? So the thing for me is that I'm not expecting us to moon anytime soon. But what is what's the right way to put this? What is hopeful for me, I guess we can use that word, is the fact that I'm all of a sudden seeing a lot of people asking about the all-time high again. Ladies and gentlemen, the $20,000 number is so far off my radar at this point. It's not even something I think about at all. I think that we are very far away from that. The trading opportunity in here is going to be immense. You do not need an all-time high to make potentially life-changing profits trading, right? There is a difference between hodling and hoping for an all-time high and swing trading. I don't care if the market goes up. I don't care if the market goes down. I swing trade and I make profits in either direction. All I need is market volatility. And Bitcoin is one of the most volatile assets in the entire world. That is why I trade it. That is how I get this crypto. And that is why I continue to dedicate my time to this market day in and day out, crush it, start my day by sipping a tall, cold glass of Moonboy tears and looking at this market like a realist instead of a delusional Moonboy Montgomery calling the psychic hotline asking Madame to rub the crystal ball and tell me the future of Bitcoin's price action. I will not fall to the Moonboy mentality, ladies and gentlemen. I will not fall into the trap of potentially, oh, Kirby, I think the bottom's in. I'm going all in. I see these moon boys going all in, ladies and gentlemen, underneath not one, but two bearish structures of the macro trend staring them right in the face, ladies and gentlemen. Are these moon boys kidding me? Sure, they could get lucky, right? Anyone can get lucky. You can buy at a bad time, and we do break through with confirmation and go right back to the moon. Sure. But from a classic technical analysis perspective, buying all in, I mean, all in at any time is not wise, but buying all in underneath not one, but two macro bearish ceilings of resistance here. Oh my, James. Oh my, Joe. Sheesh. Sheesh. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to get into the second part here, basically, of this disbelief rally. What am I seeing here that could show us that we are, in fact, on the disbelief rally? What is the things I'm seeing here that shows we could actually have stuck in the bottom? And we are on a trip right back to the moon, and the all-time high is not out of the equation. Let's jump into that now. But if you are just tuning in now, don't forget to moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell. Let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. And just, I did not cover this. I nearly forgot. This is another visualization of a market cycle. And as you can see here, at the bottom, they have despondency. And you move up through depression, hope, relief, optimism, right? And have it circled. It says, are we somewhere in here? And then you can see with the yellow dotted line going down, you kind of get another mini bubble pop again before retesting the despondency level. And then you could start to move up higher again. And I believe that is something like what we could be seeing right now, ladies and gentlemen. A fake out. Everybody starts to get hopeful again. Oh, Kirby, oh! And then just a drop. And back into an accumulation zone where we chop around. People become despondent. That is the word to use, right? At the bottom, despondency, because all the hope is lost. This is no fun for them down here, right? But you know who it is fun for? The savages, the unemotional traders that are ready to crush this market. The ones that are ready to seize upon potentially life-changing opportunity when it does in fact present itself. And you best believe Don Carbonaccio is planning to succeed and thrive in these conditions. And I will be keeping my VIPs up to date with every single trade I make, ladies and gentlemen. I post my strategies, insights, plans, entries, exits, take profits, etc. exclusively for you in VIP. Shout out to my VIPs. I will see you all in VIP right now. Let's get into the second scenario here. Let's say that we have reached the depression phase. Let's say we are in the disbelief rally, all right? So we'll remove this green box here as it would be irrelevant, right? And we could say, we'll put a new green box, and we'll say that this was our bottom here. All right, this whole area was the accumulation phase, right? Albeit right away, it does seem a little bit too short for me. If we use our date tool and we drag from the bottom, just like we did on the prior 2015 bear market to the breakout date, would be 107 days. If you guys remember, the last one was over 200 and something days. We'll actually pull it up again here just to be... There it is, 224 days. So this one would be a little bit short for me, ladies and gentlemen, and a little bit uncharacteristic, to be honest. That is why I'm leaning towards it being a trap. But let's keep going with the disbelief. For me, we need to break this level, and we need to break this level now. This box must be taken out here on this run. If we begin to pull back, very difficult for me. Sure, there is still merit. And what I'd need to see, ladies and gentlemen, is that the top of this high right here, essentially the top of the box, let's actually make it exactly the top of the box, okay? This level here, which is at about 4,400, must hold. It must hold as support. And then we need to retest the box up here of resistance and break it. If we don't break it through right now, very difficult. If we fail and hold 4,400, there is still hope, in my opinion, as we would then need to look to retest and break the box. If we wind up getting a double top and we drop, oh my, ladies and gentlemen, it is screaming a trap to me so hard. But if we go up, test, and take out the high, right? We take it out and move through the box and retest the 6,000 level, there is hope there. Because what would wind up happening is that we would have to break 6,000. And if 6,000 breaks, the mainstream media is probably going to go nuts. It's going to be very, very difficult for bears, ladies and gentlemen, to stay bearish if 6,000 is broken, right? If 6,000 is broken, it would essentially have taken out all of these structures here, right? It would taken out not only this first one that we had down here, right? Let's actually put this back for now. Down here, ladies and gentlemen, we had our bearish structure, which was the lack of a creation of a higher high the entire time. And we did just recently take that out. So we've taken it out once. Hypothetically, maybe we take out number 2. And then hypothetically, if we take out number 3 here, I mean, that is screaming that the bear market is over, the bull market has begun, and we then could begin talking about new all-time highs, etc., etc. For me, though, right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are also seeing things here such as the NVT, which is on-chain transaction volume for Bitcoin. It has had 100% accuracy, ladies and gentlemen, in calling tops on the macro trend of Bitcoin all the way back to 2012. An absolutely astonishing metric here. This is, it's gauging the amount of transaction volume on the Bitcoin blockchain. As we can see here, every time it's turned red, which is over 150 on the metric, we've seen an epic dump off in price, right? And this is going all the way back to 2012. And we've had 2 turns recently that have both resulted in massive declines. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, just as of a few days ago, we have turned red here once again. And once again, are we potentially in for another massive drop? And just so you're aware of why I have these white lines drawn, is because historically here, ladies and gentlemen, after they've created an upward trending support here on the NVT, it's when this line gets broken, retests, and then does not get back over the trend line that we've seen this dump off. So for me right now, I am watching this upward sloping trend line for a break, a failure when it retests, and then potentially a drop. This is what I'm seeing here. This thing has not been wrong one time in Bitcoin's macro trend history. So, I mean, I am going to play the probabilities here. I see that we have a lot of upper resistance levels and resistance ceilings here on the Bitcoin chart. The volume for me has been lackluster in terms of us seeing that a lot of the volume has been wash traded according to several independent studies. I mean, allegedly, a lot of it has been wash trading per their analysis. But for me, ladies and gentlemen, I am personally in the camp that I am believing that we are more so at the anger phase here, with some more fake outs and a slow grind down into the true consolidation range, which for me, once again, would be anywhere really in the vicinity of the 2900 area to the 1900 area. Or, you know, if we just do want to combine, I mean, for a large area, it'd be really anywhere from our prior low there, right? Maybe a double bottom and consolidate along the top of the box. But really, ladies and gentlemen, I am seeing potential that we are more so in the anger phase rather than the disbelief rally. And I'm only saying that because, as you can see, all the way on the right-hand side there, the disbelief rally takes out all of the prior highs, right? So for me, we'd really need to get above this level to be considering it a disbelief rally, right? And I know that the interpretation can be different for everyone. So, you know, Moonboy Montgomery may want to troll and say, oh, Kirby, well, we took out this high right here, Kirby, this high, so it is the disbelief. If you take a look very literally at this metric here, this chart, you can see that the capitulation ends, right? And where the capitulation ends is where they want you to get back above, right? So for me, ladies and gentlemen, getting back above the pre-capitulation point at 6,000 is going to be very critical in order for me to really consider that it is no longer a disbelief rally, and it is in fact the beginning of a true bull cycle. You know, it's up to interpretation. I thought that I'd give you my insights on both directions right now, both scenarios. Are we in the anger phase or the disbelief rally? Is it a bull trap, or is it the rally that is beginning the new cycle? Personally, I am leaning my bias towards it being a bull trap, just because of what I see. This isn't like I want to be bearish, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to be bullish. There is a ton of opportunity in a bull market, and I'd love for it to be. But as a full-time trader, I remain realistic. I still see two very, very bearish structures looming above us. If we break them, wonderful. I would love to get bullish as all bull can be above these levels. But for now, I am still cautious here at these levels, as I feel that there is probably going to be a rejection at some point throughout here, and a lot of trading opportunity ping-ponging around in these levels that we currently are at now. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not lose sight that the ranges we are traveling in right now are heinous, huge potential gaps to the upside and the downside. As a full-time swing trader, I am salivating right now, ladies and gentlemen, salivating at this potential trading opportunity looming right here, right now. You have to ask yourself the question: are you going to be the one that crushes this market, or are you going to be the one that gets crushed? Are you going to get wrecked with Moonboy Montgomery and Poopcoin Patrick getting caught like a deer in the headlights when these moves occur? Or are you going to be the one that thrives, prospers, and gets this crypto? The choice is yours, ladies and gentlemen. Personally, I will be keeping my VIPs updated in absolute real time with every single trade I make. I post my trades, entries, exits, take profits, etc. exclusively for you in VIP. Shout out to my VIPs. I will see you all in VIP right now. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching this right now, I encourage you to share this video with other traders, share it in your chats, your socials, etc. I would really like to get this message out here that there are two critical scenarios, in my opinion, for the macro structure of this market cycle. And I believe that we are past the capitulation point. Could there be another one? Sure. There are no certainties in a market cycle or trading. Maybe we still have a capitulation to go, but in my opinion, I believe we've probably capitulated already, and if we are going to move down any further, it would not be a heinous drop like that. It would probably be more so a float and a retest into a consolidation range before we can begin to truly bottom out and then look to test back up to the upside and begin the true bullish market cycle. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my absolute pleasure. If you could one last time, moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell. Let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. I will be keeping you up to date in VIP with my exclusive trade alerts in absolute real time, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, are you going to be the one that crushes this market, or are you unfortunately going to be the one that gets crushed? Do not be taking that trip to Wreck City. Do not be taking that long walk down Liquidation Boulevard with Average Joe and James at the water cooler. It's time to crush this market. It's time to transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now. Shout out to my VIPs. I will see you all in VIP right now. And until next time, my friends, be safe. Be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.